And welcome back to Life After the Cover Save, episode 338. I am Roed, and with me, as always, is
the Wizard of Halloween. Happy Halloween.
I'm big B&B.
And
Is this the Halloween episode?
I'm a wizard who brings Halloween blessings to all.
Well,
you know what, guys?
technically-
I just want to let you know.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, the next episode would be after Halloween.
What the? I don't know. I don't know what day it is. I do know that I bought a 30-foot Ethernet cable, so I am hardline plugged in now. So hopefully we'll get better quality on our end. You know
it's
what
a
I'm
Halloween miracle.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, I'm in my garage.
Hey guys, what's up?
And my internet is not the best. So, yeah, there's that. Why
are you in your garage?
This episode, because I'm setting up the winter studio, this episode is coming out tomorrow, whatever date that is. And then I think I'm gonna play the next episode on Halloween. So that will be a Halloween episode. But we're in the spirit. Good. You know?
It's spooky month.
Yeah. Travis is right.
So
it's still a Halloween episode. The whole month of October should all be Halloween episodes.
And the whole month of September.
Yeah,
Halloween starts August 1st now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Because Universal Studios wants your money.
That's right.
You know, Travis, I haven't been to Universal in a long time.
Lots changed. And you know what? A lot stays the same.
You got season tickets?
Yeah, just for this year. They're almost gone.
So they finish in December?
Yeah.
We gotta set up a time. I gotta get there.
You're gonna go?
I would love to eat a donut with you. If you know what I mean by eat a donut.
Yeah. I mean, I do, but
just one.
Something about November and December, Blake, is literally every weekend is filled up for the rest of the year. So
okay, I'll use your tickets. I'll go solo on that donut. I'll go solo on that donut.
Yeah, you're gonna have to solo that donut.
You know,
maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah, it's okay, dude. It's okay. Not that important.
You could go with my kids.
Your kids? Your kids have passes?
Yeah, season passes.
Oh, okay, geez.
But not Ed, just his kids.
No, I'm not going there again.
Universal Studios doesn't like fat people.
Yeah. The last time I went to Universal Studios, I was too fat to fit on that ride, correct?
Yeah.
You know, speaking of truth, you're probably too fat to fit on almost every ride at Universal Studios.
Not the tram.
Well, I think
the tram
maybe
accommodates.
I think it's any of the new rides. All the old rides are fat friendly.
I don't know. I mean, it's a little tough getting on that Mummy roller coaster.
Oh yeah. But as big as I am, I've got on it.
You could do it.
I
rode Harry Potter and I couldn't breathe for the entire ride. But I rode
you know
it.
What? I had that issue in college, like when I was in good shape, but I was still like 375.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're also not built for tall people either. Like if you're tall and fat, it's a hell of a climb.
It's a rough
to get on those rides.
Because Revenge was a hard one.
Like Jurassic Park, even the Transformers ride, because they bring down that bar and it hits your belly and it's 42 feet away from your children. So it's like, oh, this bar's not doing anything.
You're holding on to your child at that point. Well, that's the way Colossus was. the old school Colossus. It was one lap bar.
This
for
is
the whole
why
car.
I like Disneyland. Disneyland designs all their rides. Not only are the ride operators morbidly obese, but every human being that walks through Disneyland's gates is 430 pounds overweight. So that means they weigh 575 minimum.
A lot of
I
benches.
feel thin when I go to Disneyland. And I love it. The
A
ride
lot of-
operators are actively eating every time I get on Snow White. Like, how many are you partying?
So in Disneyland, there's a lot of benches and places to sit down, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just all benches, basically. That's good. I need to start going to Disneyland. Maybe I'm a Disneyland guy.
Oh, do you know what? Listen, I'm ratting on Universal, although I do enjoy my time at Universal, but don't go to Universal if you have a disability. We went one year when Anna had a broken leg, and I'll tell you what, they don't give a fuck about people that have a broken leg. Or if you're in a wheelchair, it wasn't good, man.
It's not like the airlines.
Like
airlines.
all the employees didn't know what to do. We're all like, yeah, how do we get down to the lower lot? And they're like, I don't know. And then finally they put us on an elevator. And when we got out of the elevator, it was, okay, where do we go now? We're like, I don't know. What are you guys doing down here? And we're like, whereas Disneyland, Disneyland, they know how to treat the disabled at Disneyland. They love the disabled.
Yeah.
They'll disable you just to give you better service.
Well,
okay. All right. So,
hey guys.
Are we? All right, let's start. Let's start the podcast. All right, let's start recording on 3. Okay, Ed.
All right. Let's count it down.
In this episode, now that we've gotten some stuff out of the way, we're going to introduce the new segment, Pro Painted.
Oh.
And in Life After the Cover Save, we're going to be talking about our favorite Halloween movies. All right. I know Blake's ready. Ready. Travis is ready for sure. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, just a second. Let me pull up my,
my
word processor.
Yeah, pull up your word processor, Doogie Howser. So Travis,
yes,
you just played a game that Blake and I have not played yet, and I would like to talk about it. It's a little game called Boarding Action.
Okay.
Oh,
what?
Gotcha.
I know what Warhammer is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a war.
It's a war. What is the old commercial?
Yeah.
Anyways, I know what Warhammer 40K is.
Who's Mike?
Yeah. I know what Combat Patrol is, I think. What's Boarding Action?
It's 40K in space on a ship.
Oh, Zone Mortalis, you mean?
It's the evolution of Zone Mortalis.
So there is no more Zone Mortalis.
Why would there be? There's now Boarding Action.
Okay.
That's it.
Done.
All right, cool. Next
segment.
But that's what I wanted to know.
Oh, okay. Great segment. Moving on. Boarding Action has been around for a while. I believe it was introduced in an earlier edition. I think it was at 9th edition the first time they called it Boarding Actions, I think.
Probably.
And then they had a patch PDF that came out for 10th edition. And now they have a softback book, which, for my money, I think it's probably one of the best books I've bought from Games Workshop. I'll tell you what.
They sell a lot of books.
They sell a lot of books, and most of them are bound very poorly. But this is a softback book. They seem to do a little bit better with the softback book. It doesn't seem like it's going to fall apart. It uses 40K rules with a couple new things thrown in there. There's some mechanics on how to open and close doors, and there's different mechanics on deep striking and visibility. Like you draw line of sight like around walls. I mean, not line of sight, but like you could be on either side of the wall and not be in engagement range, but deep strike has to be an actual full 9 inches away, irregardless of whether there's walls there. You can't like deep strike on the other side of a wall, but you also can't charge someone who's on the other side of the wall.
So there's deep striking in this spaceship?
Yeah.
Because they're basically being teleported onto the ship.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And
I'm
everybody,
sure not-
can, every race, every faction can play in boarding action.
That is correct.
Okay.
But I'm sure not all units can deep strike, Blake.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Like that's what I'm trying to grok.
I don't understand the question.
I grokked it. I grokked it.
So you think every unit gets deep strike? Because that's not what I said. I said a unit that has deep strike arrives differently because of the nature of the game. I'm not explaining the rules difference very well, but you know what? You can read the book. Like,
Exactly.
There's like 6 pages of rules modifications. Then there's a page for every faction, but every faction has different. What are they called? The battle lines? No, what do you call it when you pick your special rule? Detachments. There you go.
Detachments.
Yeah, there we go. That's it, man. Detachments, baby.
So, like the Eldar have a Wraith attachment, they have an Aspect Warrior attachment, and they have a Guardian attachment. The Necron have detachment.
So those detachments are pre-made.
Well, yeah, you don't have to invent the rules for yourself.
No. What no, Blake. It's not telling you. It's not like a Battle Force or the new things. You get to still pick your units. It's just
I always forget that Blake actually doesn't know anything about Warhammer 10th edition.
No, but well, older detachments were like you had to have a certain models could only be used. So this detachment was more like
I'm talking about 10th edition detachments gives you special rules.
Yeah.
It gives you special command point things you could spend your command points on. That's it. That's what a detachment gives you.
And in my
in these detachments, it does tell you what units can be taken in the detachment. But it doesn't tell you what you have to take.
Because I was thinking about the last edition of Kill Teams, which is the other 40K game that you can play.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be like these were your set models you could get for the kill
This is
team.
very different. You're building lists. Okay. You're building lists in boarding.
So you're still list. Okay, that's kind of.
But every unit has some rules taken away. And how characters function is very different. Characters don't attach to units, but they can, for 1 CP, give their leadership abilities to the units.
Nice.
Okay.
But basically, it's 500 point 40K, which if you've ever tried to play 40K at 500 points, it breaks down and doesn't work. But
you need those modifications.
With boarding action, it freaking works.
It works.
Played 2 games with Cheyenne, setting up the board, which is cumbersome with the GW kit. It's not. I don't love the design of it, but it was 2 hours for each game, and that's setting it up and playing the game. So really, it was only an hour and a half to play the mission. Now, here's the best thing about this book, and why I think this is one of GW's best book products. There are like 30 missions in the books. Well over half of the book is just missions. Mission after mission after mission. There are like, these ones are balance missions. These are narrative missions. These are 3-player missions. These are 4-player missions. You know, playing 40K when you have 3
5.
people, it gets really weird and it sucks. Not with boarding actions.
I think we have to test it
Well.
out. I think it has to be tested out to see if it's like balanced. You know what I mean? And if anybody can break it,
Oh, it's not balanced
oh,
because you're still building lists.
okay.
I want to use power level. Is that still a thing?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Yes, it is actually, Blake. The thing with power levels and points, they're not different anymore. You just buy
They're
the
the same
unit, and
thing.
you can just choose whatever
Power
item
level
you
is the
want.
new points.
Yes.
Points don't exist anymore.
Yeah. You don't have to do hard math anymore. You just build your list the way you want it.
Yeah. You equip your models however you want because that doesn't matter.
So basically,
That's power level.
That's power level, dude. You
Whoa.
you
That's
still
power
play
level, brother.
brother.
No, I mean, so I really liked. I looked into maybe getting a set of terrain, but I so much didn't like the way the terrain functioned.
Yeah.
I'm going the 3D printed route because
Yeah,
someone
buddy.
has made a very similar file, but instead of this weird sliding in and
Oops.
cap system, it's just magnets, baby. So everything clicks together. Like you literally need the orange Lego separator is necessary to pry the things apart if you want to like use the GW kit. So yeah, I'm usually a big fan of GW, but I
There's
feel like
a Lego separator?
well, no, you have to go to your Lego sets and get your Lego separator tool. Your
I've
orange.
never there's a
You've
Blake,
never seen a Lego
Blake,
separator?
you're a Lego maniac. You know what I'm
Yeah, I'm
talking
a Lego
about, right?
guy.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
have they always had this tool, or is it
Well,
like
no, but since like
Oh.
1995, I think the tool was invented.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Blake's going to look up when it was invented, but it's been part of
Please.
Lego for a very long time. It's an exceptional tool.
I guess I've never needed it for Legos, but I guess some people do.
Well, it's only if you're taking Legos apart.
Yeah, I've taken Legos.
There you go, dude. That's a Lego separator.
Huh. And
It's
what's
multifunction. You can peel up a flat piece here. You can push out some of the connector pieces here.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure what this is for, but here underneath it, you can like wedge or lever pieces off.
It's
each
also
other.
really good at applying decals. You like place the decal on the tip of it, and then you can get it right where you want it.
Wow.
Mhm.
It does everything, man.
Yeah, the brick separator, baby.
I guess-
It's a retired product.
much is it?
By the way?
Oh,
What?
these are tired.
It says retired product.
How much was
Oh,
it?
they just changed the color or something?
Well, that's the
It was
that's the brick-
included in complicated kits.
It's the brick separator 630. Now, I imagine the 640 is what's on the shelf these days.
Oh,
It might
okay.
even be at 700.
Yeah, the 630, it was time for the 630 to be retired because, you know, the knees started giving out. And it just wasn't giving 110%.
It lost some of that grip, you know.
Mhm. The new one
Gription.
has a battery in it that you have to recharge.
And
Well,
it
and
actually,
Bluetooth.
it has designed obsolescence in it too. So after about 2 years, it'll stop separating the bricks as good as it used to. So you'll want to buy the brick separator 650.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, this is the 50 here. Hold on, I don't want to upload that. Stream.
jeez.
This is the new one here. This is, and as you can see, look at that one. Now that's a 4 wide.
Wow.
I mean, as a Lego maniac myself, I don't like it. I don't
How
like
much
change.
can you see how much it is? I just want to know how much it is. Yeah, can you just click on
We have to
yes.
learn more. I mean, there's a video.
Oh,
I don't think they've
okay.
typically actually sold this product. It's always
All
just been
Never
included in
mind.
other products.
Let's you know what? Let's go look at the device guide. Let's pull up a PDF.
Okay.
No.
Nah, I don't see anything. Usually they come in kits. Like when I got my my kits for the wave and the tree, especially the wave, it had them in there. But the old style. So yeah, 3D printed. You know people with 3D printers.
I do. I got my good buddy Phil is gonna start on it this Saturday.
Get to
And
work.
so I looked into like because it comes you also have a very specific board setup because you need to have these 4-inch cube squares like all over the board. And the GW kit comes with the cardboard boards with which is fine. Like they function. Um and I could probably find those online. I looked probably about $40 to get, that, but I'm gonna spend a little bit extra in plastic and like actually 3D print the tile boards because I think the final product where the board
Look better.
actually has grooves and I'm gonna just paint and dry brush it. I think ultimately like the whole game experience is gonna be a lot better.
Yeah.
Now, are the boards themselves? So you said it took a half hour to set up your board. Now, is that because the terrain itself and the design was finicky, like you were
Yeah,
saying?
there's a map for every mission that says like match this map,
That's
and
what I was getting at.
like Cheyenne was doing it. I mean, because he's done taking this apart and put it back together, but it wasn't like it wasn't super simple to do because there's like two angled parts that you have to match up together and then put a cap on it.
Mm.
Whereas if it's the magnet, you're just
Yeah.
I'm wondering how much they've. I'm wondering how much they actually took from because some of the original Warcry had deployment cards. Like this is how you set up the terrain in the box.
yeah.
Like there was different setups.
It's
So
all it's all it all evolves and eats off of itself, and
and then
yeah.
now I don't even and yeah, I think they still do that with
The
Warcry, depending on the
the
kit.
boarding action does fill a lot of first edition Warcry deployment because you end up having 4 zones that you could deploy in, and then anything that can't fit into those 4 zones, they get put into reserves.
So 4 zones per side.
Yeah.
So 8 zones.
Well, listen, that's on average.
Okay,
Every mission is not exactly the same.
gotcha.
But there's specific things of like you could only fit one character and one unit in a zone, and there's some big characters that have to be in a zone by himself.
Gotcha. You know what? This does sound interesting to me.
Like open, so the we kind of got distracted, but so there's a set of actions after you do your movement. You can shoot, or you can go on Overwatch, or so to go on Overwatch, you give up your shooting. But you could basically have everyone on Overwatch. You're not spending
Yeah.
CP for Overwatch. It's very cool. Or you could go on defense, where if you go on defense, then you get like a +1 to attack and melee. So if you have someone holding down something, you go on defense. Or if you're a battle line unit, you could give up your shooting to make an objective sticky. There's
What do
a
you
lot.
mean? What do you mean by sticky?
A sticky objective means you can move away from the objective and you still control it until the enemy takes it over.
So it sticks to your model.
No. Sticky objective is
Oh, I get you. It's like you flip it and they got to flip it back.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. There's some
Mhm.
interesting design choices here.
And at the end of your movement phase, you could open and close a door. And if a model's on the other side, they could try and stop you from opening a door. Very cool. It was very interesting. I liked
Now
it.
you played with Cheyenne
Yeah.
twice.
Uh-huh.
Now, now what about you played at a realtor's office?
Yeah.
What game was that?
So I was just walking around and there's some guy says, "Hey, you want to buy a house?" I said, "No." "Do you want to play 40K?" He says, "Sure." No, this is a group. When I lived in Irvine, I used to run some D&D games at a local comic book shop. And I recently reconnected with some of these dudes, and they got into 40K. So we've been doing an almost like they get together once a month to play. They've come up here to my house a couple times now, and I went down there. And one of them has a realtor's office, and he had a back room, and had two of the Frontline Gaming folding tables, which I actually thought they were pretty good. Like it was a good playing surface. It was
Frontline Gaming folding
has
tables?
folding tables now that are like the exact size of a 40K mat, and yeah, I haven't looked into like how much they cost or anything, but functionally, like they function as a really great 40K playing surface. How much
They
are
ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Reese, Frankie.
Were they like $400?
Dude, $239.
Oh, well, that's. I mean, listen, like the folding tables, like a nice folding table is like $100 at that size. So, I mean, it is definitely a markup, but
Is it?
Frank,
Let me see it. Let me see it,
Reese,
buddy.
what are you doing? All right, here we go.
I bet you
Man,
he's making money. This is making money.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
why are you so against capitalism, Blake?
Okay, yeah, it's a folding table, but it's the right size. But it's
I do like the FLG logo.
And actually, it was a really good height too. Like the height was really was nice.
Oh, it folds up.
I mean, this is great for their tournament
brand.
business.
Yeah.
You know.
And we're giving them free advertising.
How much is this?
You know what?
200?
$239.
But I mean, that's less than an alpha table, and I thought this was so much better than an alpha table.
How much was an alpha table?
They're like $500 now.
No. Are they? Like, look up an alpha table. Alpha
this episode,
gaming table. We're doing some research, guys.
We're doing some research.
I used my alpha gaming table recently.
Yeah,
Firmer Terra. Make war everywhere. Thing is, though, it's a 6x4.
It's a 6x4, so it's slightly bigger.
Add to cart, dude. That's not a good sign. There's no price listed.
Let's see it. Gosh, Blake, share,
dude. Make war everywhere. $375.
Not $500.
$375.
$375 with free shipping. So this is definitely it's competitive to that. And here's the thing, like it doesn't have those weird bumps that the alpha table has. It was a lot lighter than an alpha table. Alpha table. It doesn't have that weird third leg in the middle that you always hit with your knee.
Well, this one actually, check this out. This table looks newer. This is the new AGT 5.
Yeah.
So there's like, they've updated. We might need to talk to him, see what we can get.
Well, not after my terrible review here.
No, listen. I think what we need to do a table head-to-head.
Each company sends us a table for free, and we put them through the ringer.
We'll put them through the ringer.
Which one?
The one that can hold Blake sitting on it or laying on it wins. That's it.
That's probably the alpha table. I think it's structurally more powerful.
Dude, make war anywhere, dude.
Make war everywhere.
Hey, Reese. Well, hey, I didn't know FLG had a little table, but I dig that, FLG. Good job, boys. It's definitely more manageable than it's smaller. You know, I can dig that.
Yeah, so he had two of those set up back there with terrain on them. He had all his 3D printers going because this is a 3D printing group. By that I mean they don't buy GW products.
No. Well, you know what?
It's the future.
It's a weird thing. Like, you know,
they should be killed.
I didn't know that initially. When I first, got into the group, but I'm so starving for 40K that I'll debase myself. And play against
Wait a minute.
these pirates?
I thought one of the guys had some GW stuff, or some of the guys had some GW stuff. Or
there in the group there is a fellow Necron. There is a fellow Necron player where all his stuff was GW stuff.
Okay.
But he's just broken and it's all like, can you print me up some Immortals? Because so he's fallen. to the
but
dark
it's
side.
it's not a bad thing. It's
Okay,
just
go
the
ahead, Ed.
future. It's the future. That's what's going to happen.
As the
And
future.
people aren't
Yeah.
going to buy. What if I'm going to go online and spend $1,000 on some sideshow collectible statue of Colossus, or am I going to print one on a 3D printer for a quarter of the price and just have my statue of Colossus? You understand what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
we're
I
not
understand.
we're in a world where we can just make things for ourselves. Um, there's times I'm trying to think of specifically, but I've had things that have broken, and instead of going to buy a new one, I've 3D printed the piece that's needed and stuck it on, and it's worked.
That's pretty awesome.
So I think GW's time is limited of making models.
Yeah,
The nature of the business is changing, and which is why I think, this is just my uneducated opinion, why I think that they're very careful about their capital investment into these newer systems.
Mhm.
That's why apparently now in this Imperialis, they're adding more factions,
Yeah,
which before it was just Space Marines.
yeah.
Now we're getting other stuff, and I think why we'll see
Mechanicum.
if Mechanicum, and why we're seeing Old World, we might get more product in Old World over time, because they can't commit to all this capital straight into the launch of a product. They need to see if it's going to be viable before they can start committing more capital to it. And I think they have to be smart about their investments, because the future of 3D printing and the business, it's who knows.
Yeah.
That's my
But
TED talk. Thanks for coming.
to your point, it's still not quite there, because the armies, although like I could tell what they are, they don't look as good as the GW models. But I mean, the time is coming shortly where there won't be any difference.
So riddle me
I've seen
this.
some stuff
Okay, go ahead, Ed. Sorry.
that looks almost exactly, and then with those new sculpts for the Blood Angels, the Sanguinary Guard, people didn't like the way the jetpacks look because they didn't have wings. So 3D sculptors have already sculpted wings that'll go onto those models to replace the jetpacks that most people don't
Yeah,
like.
Joy, I'm not saying that the technology like isn't there to really match it, but it seems like a lot of them are making their own designs so that they're not
Yeah.
exactly copying
Right.
GW. And I'm just saying
Well, they
they're
can't.
not as skilled a designer as the
Yeah.
design team
Yeah.
at Games Workshop. They just aesthetically don't look as good.
Yeah. So riddle me this, bat people.
Yes.
What's worse, a 3D printer or a China buyer?
Well, I mean,
I think the person that
3D
pays
printing
price at
exact
GW
copies.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now there's multiple ways to take it.
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
GW,
you know.
you can get the prints of GW stuff, and you can get the recast of GW stuff.
Yeah, you know,
they're all horrible.
it's a dark world that you're.
What about?
Yeah, they're all. I mean,
They're all
morally abased people, all of them.
Yeah.
All three of them, right?
All
But
three
what
of them.
about? But what about the people who, don't pay for the 3D STLs of this person who sculpted it and makes it? That's even worse.
That's even worse.
That's
Yeah.
even worse. You know.
It's
I think
disgusting.
that is worse. So
Makes me
listen,
sick.
we're no experts here,
Yeah.
but
let's do
the
some.
point is, I lost.
Oh,
that's the point.
And here's the flaw with that 3D printed. That when you 3D print an army, sometimes you make choices on the models that you're printing, and the thing that you decide to use as a proxy for that model does not represent what that model is. Right, Travis?
Yeah.
He said he had
some of the models seemed really a lot smaller than they should have been. So I got a little confused. Listen, I'll say I got a little confused. I made some bad choices. I made terrible choices.
I got a little confused. I made some bad choices. The worst choices.
Yeah.
What's that?
The models
impression?
were a little small.
Is that George W. Bush?
No, man, that's my Trump. That's the best I can
Oh, okay. Oh, well,
They said I had the
that's pretty
best
good.
painted army. It was the best army. People said it. I didn't say it. They said it.
Yeah. So did you? So you're enjoying the cabin action, the boarding cabin,
Boarding action.
boarding action.
Yes. I mean, I'm enjoying it
action.
enough that I'm commissioning some terrain to be printed.
Yeah.
Which, it's another thing. It's like I feel fine about printed terrain, but the models, I don't know about it. I
Yeah, a
don't
lot
know
of
yet.
people feel good about printed. People who you wouldn't think, like, who are against the other stuff are okay with
Yeah.
printed terrain. So,
Well, I think terrain has a tradition of DIY to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
If you've been in this racket long enough, you've made your own terrain.
yeah, but you can also
And
have
it's
made your
almost
own
like-
models. There was definitely
yeah,
some
but
DIY
that's a lot.
models.
That's a lot trickier.
Well,
Oh, for sure. But the average user is making terrain.
yes.
So I think there's just a more open attitude around the terrain than the models themselves.
Yeah.
That's
They'll
my
get there.
uneducated opinion. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Everybody will get there.
Train's a gateway drug, though.
We'll get there.
All right, Blake.
Hey, you know what? We got some sizzling reviews. I want to read these reviews.
Yeah, get on the reviews.
Can I do that? All right,
Quickly.
these are fantastic reviews here. Oh, they're quick. There's here we go. This one here from Kenny D76. 2 stars. This 40K podcast needs more 40K in it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Wow, 5 stars from BR51. Weeks ago, I was a weak, flaccid, loveless man. This podcast has turned me around. Since I started listening to LATCS, my love life has improved, and now I make farty noises anytime someone mentions IG. Keep up the good work. Harry Donut says, can't wait for more. The only way I can enjoy this more is if I were an avid player. With that said, I think Zane P likes balls in his mouth. Not that that's a bad thing in itself, just that he enjoys those bull mastiff whilst getting kicked in the groin by a horse. Love you guys. Keep it up.
Wow.
Finally, last one, 5 stars from Duty. Finally a podcast for the homosexual 40K community. Can't wait to hear more about Blake's huge, salty, musky balls. Best show ever. Thank you, Duty. Okay. Guys, send in those reviews.
All right.
So we
early,
can read 'em.
early LATCS had a vibe, man.
It did. It did. We're far from it though.
Yeah.
We got
In many ways.
a comment on YouTube. I'm gonna read it. It's from Arvid Kongstad 115.
Of the New England Constags.
Yeah, they're good people.
Kongstad. Hey guys, small pleasant D here. Not bad for a pre-recorded episode. Not bad. I wanted to chime in about 2 things. Not bad being the joke against Blake. Wanted to chime in about 2 things. Number 1, Travis is a great co-host for the show, bringing some poetic flair and a healthy dose of nostalgia to the podcast. I'm casting my vote for keeping him on. You're lucky that we got this because me and Blake were in talks.
Yeah,
But-
I know. I mean, like my employee review was coming up at the end of the month on Halloween. Oddly enough, I thought that was a weird choice on your guys' part
It was.
because I'm going to be dressed in my costume. But, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We digress.
Number 2, when hearing Travis talk about Old World on this and previous episodes, I keep thinking that the thing that he wants out of the game, great looking cinematic battles with sweeping action, heroic deeds, and a lot of atmosphere, but also a balanced rule set where all units are viable, would be much better fulfilled in GW's War Master game of yesteryear. And he puts down, it's the epic version of Warhammer Fantasy Battles.
Yeah.
The scale.
No, listen.
The
He's
scale,
not
10
wrong.
millimeter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's
The
a lot.
scale, 10 millimeters may put off some people. I understand that. But it really is a matter of perspective. And War Master models can be very easy to paint, especially with contrast style paints. The game scales well to different point levels, but it aims to capture the enormous conflicts that rage in the Warhammer world. A game of War Master often looks truly spectacular. Well rounded armies often fare the best. Cavalry and monsters hit hard, but will fold to infantry traps, and artillery fire if stranded in enemy territory. Infantry is ideal for defending the crucial points of the battlefield and normally make up the bulk of the army. Flyers sweep the battlefield, harassing enemy troops caught undefended and attacking the army's weakest points. The game also elegantly avoids the hero hammer problem by making the army's commanders tokens that issue orders, a core mechanism of the game, and only occasionally take part in combat. Games Workshop dropped the game in 2012, but the fan community is keeping it alive and arguably healthier than ever in the form of War Master Revolution, an unofficial fan-made rule set that is completely free and receives annual updates to balance the 25 armies. 25 armies, so that every
25.
army and unit is viable. It truly is a community passion at its best. It's if the above sounds even remotely interesting, then please look at it's a web link to the wmrevolution.com. And I am standing on YouTube, who produces excellent introductory content of the game. The War Master GW Facebook group is also great for inspiration and spectacular army battles. Keep up the good work, boys. Looking forward to the next episode. So, it was long, but I mean, it makes me want to play War Master for some reason.
No, but he's not wrong. I mean, like we even printed up a bunch of War Master armies, and we were almost going to do that. Then Old World came a knocking.
Yeah.
But I wasn't aware of this kind of living War Master rule set.
War Master Revolutions.
Revolutions. Thank you so much for that tip, because I'm actually sitting on a bunch of 3D printed War Master scale stuff, and I have a lot. You know, like there might be a pivot happening. I have a few units I'm working on in my vampire count relegated army, but as soon as those are done, might be War Master Ho.
War Master Revolution. Is that what it's called? Revolution?
Yeah, I can send you the link, Travis.
Yeah, like Matrix Revolutions, the best Matrix movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you. That's a great YouTube comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me feel good. Made me feel really good about my employee review at the end of the month.
Okay.
I'm going to bring up this email when you guys try to fire me.
Yeah, I guess. All right. The last thing before we get into Propainted is our accountability. Okay. Blake, you said
I did
do some
not.
drones.
Yeah. I didn't do the drones.
Oh,
However, I got involved in the paint jam.
that's true.
I got involved in the paint jam.
That's right.
And me and Ed painted a whole squad of Chaos Warhounds. But you know what? I did do some time on my drones, and I tried some different techniques, some different products, and yeah, I wasn't really happy with anything that I produced. So back at it. I'm gonna should I recommit now or recommit at the end?
You could recommit now.
I'm gonna recommit. You know what? Something more pressing. I have a squad I gotta get built and painted by 2 weekends from now.
Yep.
I'm not going to say what the squad is.
Okay.
I'm not going to say the game system. Not even going to say how many models.
Oh, okay.
But I got to get it done. If it's not done, well then.
Okay, so let me.
Tom's going to be sad.
Let me just. Okay. Let me see here.
It's like a 14-man squad. I'm just going to say it. No, 12. I got to get 12 models done.
You could do that.
All right. Blake's going to do 12 models. All right, Travis.
I need some movement trays.
You said you were going to get the Leviathan Terminators done.
I said parade ready.
Oh, okay.
Like done and perfect. Like ready to go on the shelf.
Mhm.
And guess what? I freaking did it. Oh, they look so good. I like personally right now, it's one of my favorite units I've painted so far. I went above and beyond. I even did weathering on the
Oh, yeah.
boots, and there was a whole bunch of tactical rocks that I had to saw off and then touch up the paint because I should have done that before I primed. But lesson learned to get them to fit on the cool bases that I'm using. But man, I did some spectacular decal work on it. I did something new which I hadn't done before with the micro sol. Is it this? You start with set.
Seal?
No, well,
Yeah.
whatever the first
Yeah.
the first one
Set
is.
Sol.
I forget whether it's set or sol. Yeah, I think set is first. So I put a little bit on after I put a gloss coat on, of course. Then I put a little I covered it in the micro set, and I slid the decal on there. Everything's fine. Then put a little bit of micro set on top of it. Let it completely dry. Then I did another coat of microset on that. And what that actually does is every coat thins it dissolves it a little bit and thins it out. But doing two coats and letting it completely dry, these things really effing look painted on. And then I did the final coat of the one that really kind of softens it up for the curves. But and then covered it in a semi-gloss and then hit it with a dull coat all over. Like these decals, it looks like I freehanded the freaking wolf symbols up
Nice.
close. And the pictures probably don't do it justice, but you could put the model right there and it's it looks like I painted that on. So I'm really happy that I just watched some to refresh, because you don't do decals very often. So it's been 9 months since I put decals on a model. So I watched some new videos, and there were some new ones that had some that letting it completely dry and putting another coat on it really kicked it up another notch. So
Microset Microsol, that seems to be the secret sauce, the special ingredient when it comes to decals.
It is. And one of them's just vinegar, but
Nice.
You can smell it.
For me, my goal was to finish painting Astroth the Grim. And I did it. Astroth.
You did it, baby.
Finished it for Cheyenne, and it should be the back, yeah. So I finished it. I'm glad to be done.
That's Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, dude, that's Vlad the Impaler,
brother.
I'm happy to be done with it because then I can start working on my own stuff again.
Amen.
I liked painting Astroth, but I think I like painting Lamardes better. I think he was easier actually to paint. Astroth had a little more stuff.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So what do we got, Travis? What are you going to commit to, huh?
I have 15 more zombies for Old
15?
World I need to get. 15, yes.
Okay. 15 zombies. And I have to finish it for the Hobby Progress Challenge. I have some orc boys that I'm going to paint. I think there's 10 of them. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're all committed. We're committed.
Baby.
We're committed. All right. Let me load up this.
Dude, we're 49 minutes in.
Yeah. We have to do it.
I mean, why even bother with this new segment?
Because we keep saying we're going to do it, so I want it.
Because we said we're going to do it, and by golly, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're men of our words.
Now, the thing is, we depending on how long the segment is, that could bleed over into the start of next episode.
Whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or it won't.
I mean, I don't know what's in store. I'm a little
Yeah.
excited, a little nervous.
All right, here we go. So this is pro-painted. So what it is, just so you guys know what it is. It is this. That's what we're doing, pro-painted. Here we go. Tell me when you see it.
Okay. Pro painted. Okay.
So what it is I've
Love
I
it.
like how he's using the tip of his brush.
Yeah.
The wood part.
The wood part to paint. Yeah. Is a lot of people like to say that their stuff is pro painted because I buy stuff on eBay. I'm on eBay a lot. So people are like, yeah, these are pro painted, and I think they look pretty bad. But what we'll do is, you guys can have some comments on these things, and we're going to look at the price. We're going to look at the price of what people are selling them at, and then we'll even look at the price of the model to see, like, okay, is this even, because it could be badly painted, but it's still cheaper than buying the model, so there could be some benefit to it. But let's see what we see here. Let's see what happens here. So the first up is an Orc Battle Wagon that's pro painted. So anything that comes to mind when looking at this, Blake or Travis?
You know what? What I really like is that that's a Chromebook that can be folded backwards in the back.
Yeah, that's right, dude.
So I would say, I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm sorry.
What do you think about the paint job?
Not a good paint job.
It looks like a preschool toy.
Yes, like a Tonka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, here's what's going on here. The application of the paint is very flat. It's just like it's red with some blue stuff and some yellow stuff, but there's no depth. There's no definition. It does look like, what I will say is, like, it looks like the paint was at least attempted to be thinned, so it's not like chalky or chonked on.
No, yeah, it looks like it was thinned, and in fact, yeah, I'm not seeing thick paint really.
There's some spots in the red towards the back.
The big flat
like
areas that it looks like that. But so I'm at this. Here's the thing. This does look salvageable. Like, I think actually using some washes and just a little bit of work, you could turn this into a pretty nice looking orc vehicle. So I don't think it's a strip job, but to call this pro painted is, it spits in the face of all professional painters.
I think what would go really good with this is the MIG streaking grime. It's an enamel that you cover the whole thing in. You wait a little bit of time, then you get like a cotton cloth and you start to wipe the grime away.
Yeah, I just bought a bottle.
Yeah, so that looks, I think this is definitely salvageable with an advanced technique.
So one thing that I would say, if you're going to present a model as pro painted, is it should either be built, or maybe disassembled for packaging. But this looks like it's not completely built.
I don't even know if this is a full model.
Yeah, and it looks like there might actually be pieces missing. So that's kind of frustrating when you look at it, because the arm that connects the def roller to the front of this thing is not there. And there's some guns that should be up here as well, and they're not there as well. So I think if you're going to present it as pro painted, it should be a complete kit. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Okay. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Painted?
What's that?
They said that this was pro painted.
Yeah, I believe so. They definitely did. I'm not sure if we'll see. So so there's all the pieces are scattered around here, and it looks like, see, this piece down here is a piece from a truck. So it's not even all the right pieces. This front end right here.
It's almost like they bought this listing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It almost looks like they're trying to flip this listing. Like they bought it from someone Now they're calling it profane. This is like the couch flipper, dude.
And that tile looks. Ed, is this you?
No, it's definitely not me. That's not my tile.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is. I would be ashamed of this. Actually, this is not propated. All right.
I thought,
So
this
here's
is the truck flipper. Yep.
here's we've already done this, but let's see if you guys can remember how much do you think?
$85.
Okay, Blake, Travis,
95. 95. I'm going 95.
Okay, you guys don't remember. $125.
No, each time it hurts. Okay,
I refuse to believe that's true, Ed.
Okay,
is this Australian? Is this
No.
Australian currency?
No. It's
Okay,
not.
$125 for the kit.
For any battle wagon, not just the bone breaker.
You know, I'm changing my stance on this 3D printer stuff.
All right, so it's 125. Okay, see right here, the listing says, as you can see, Pro Painted Games Workshop, and they even called it a bone breaker, and it doesn't have all the stuff. How much do you think he listed this? This Joss 1705.
Gosh. So I have two answers. I have what he should have listed it, and what I think he did list it at.
So let's do the whole thing.
I think this is worth $50.
Okay.
Max. But I think he probably listed it as $250.
Okay, wow, that's high. So your guess is $250.
Yeah. Well, because listen, a pro painted model could be
twice.
as much as 30 to 40 hours of work putting into a professionally painted model.
Yes.
So it's almost at least double the retail price.
You know what? I say this is $100.
All right. So you're saying that he pro painted it and is listing it for less than what you can get it at?
Yes.
All right. Let's see, because I forgot that I've done this. This was so long ago. 155. I think Blake was closer.
Right.
But yeah, they still want more than buying it brand new. And I think if you just played it as bare plastic, it'll look better than what this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you still have to build this.
Yeah, I do not want to pay a premium for something I'm going to have to spend a lot of hours to make it look good on the table. That's ridiculous.
Sometimes I hate this hobby.
Sometimes.
What? No, dude, come on. Let's be honest. You mean sometimes you like the hobby?
Yeah, sometimes you like it.
All right. Okay, you guys ready for the next one? We'll do one more.
I'm ready.
Hit me, baby.
All right. So this one actually looks decent. You can see there is some maybe some airbrush work. You know, they have some highlights. This is a Terminator Captain from the Leviathan starter set. He has a Storm Bolter and a Power Sword. Right? That sound right?
Mm.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Storm Bolter Power Sword, yeah.
It's nice. The blue looks good. The gold looks all right. The bone hanging from his tassels or whatever that is, some tapestries. It looks like it could use some work. But it's not
like the model
sloppy.
itself actually has good depth. The base is pretty flat, but that's fine.
Yeah, the base doesn't look that great. Like he used, again, if you want to call something pro painted, you think you would paint the ring black.
Clean up the rim.
Yeah, there's crud on it. So what do you think, Blake? What do you think on this? Any critiques? Anything you would have done better?
Me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even started.
Okay. All right. Travis?
Honestly, it looks like a decent airbrush job with picking out details, putting some highlights on the metals, and moving forward. Crank this puppy out.
Yeah. Yeah, like a crank job, like a fast. doing factory work here. Travis?
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I think this is like I'd be perfectly happy to sit across the table with an army painted to this level, you know.
Yeah.
But if the person then told me I hired a professional painter to paint
Yeah.
these miniatures for me, and I paid him good money for his time, I would say, my good sir, you have been robbed. Because this is not a professional job. It is a very good amateur job. So
Yeah.
if you want to say amateur painted, okay, I believe you, because this is an amateur. And you know what? I am an amateur. I'm not a professional painter. I do not do this as a living. I do not get paid to paint. And therefore, I'm an amateur. And this is an amateur job.
So, like, I like the airbrush work. There's some good highlights. I think if he edged, or they, I don't know the person, but if they would have edge highlighted a lot of these, like the where the knee,
like a professional painter would have done.
Yes, okay, yes, Travis. I know. I'm just saying, if he would have edge highlighted the blues, it would have popped a lot more. Yeah, and then the price could have gone up, I guess. So here's the back. I think the cape looks all right, but again, edge highlighting, and under the gun, you see like pools of like a wash, which is not good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Listen, we've all been there.
A crusty base, not a good rim job on that base.
Yeah.
Now that's one thing I can do. I can get that rim painted, make it look good.
Yeah.
Clean it up, high
now
and tight.
This paint job is a lot better than the York vehicle. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, Terminator Captain. I guess I forgot this part. $44.
I'm gonna say $44.
Okay, all right, Blake. What do you think?
One model.
Yeah.
One model. 35.
Okay, it's $44.
What? Crazy.
I got it right on the nose.
Yeah. Now this isn't the exact model, but this is similar.
Yeah. When
it's hard to price out.
Yeah, similar.
This was the only one available. They didn't.
This is a good corollary, I think.
Yeah.
Probably the painter's cost is probably less than 44.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. So this says Game Workshop, Warhammer 40K Captain and Terminator Armor Pro painted by. This is by Mind Blown Minis. He's gonna blow your mind.
Wow. I mean, with a name like that, maybe he is a professional painter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a pro gets paid, right?
Yep.
So
what do you think? What do you think?
Oh, geez. He's branded. He has a brand. I'm going to say $85.
Travis?
I'm going to go 88. He's just going to double it. 88. Final offer.
All right. $35.
Wow.
Okay, do you know what? Mind blown minis, call my mind blown. Because not only is he pricing his models accurately, I think he's a professional. He's a professional at understanding the value of his work.
You're such a jerk. Yeah.
Because that is a $35 model, if ever I've seen one.
You know what? Like I was saying, I think this person, MBM, I think MBM probably got a whole bunch of Leviathan stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And to him, this is just probably less than an hour of work.
Yeah, do you know what I think this is? I think maybe this is a professional painter who is speed painting and not really taking the time and he's running a business here. You know, pro painted. This is painted by a professional. Professional Stizer.
Okay.
That wasn't
Well,
even the
here's the
proper
thing.
slur. I don't know what happened.
I think you could take this model at $35 and
Uh-huh.
you can edge highlight it, and this one you can actually fix up with a little bit of work and make it really good.
I think I could purchase this $35 model, sell it for $68 and do nothing.
Yeah, you know what?
Just take it and I'm going to couch flip it.
Yeah, you might be able
Couch flipper, baby.
It's a good point, Travis. All right.
Did we just start a business?
MBM. Yeah, I think this dude got a crap load of Leviathan stuff.
Yeah.
And they're just burning through this.
Yeah, in England, you could just find it in dumpsters.
It's true. You
It's
know.
true.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd pay if I was in the market for some Ultramarines. I mean, that's a good purchase. You could pick it up and flip it. Absolutely. Huh. So we got more. We got more for next week, dude.
Yeah, man.
If we come back to this segment, there are more. Yes.
I want to.
Yeah.
I love these segments.
Yeah. Definitely have 1, 2, 3 more models here. I have to scour the internet again. So that's it. You know what? If you guys are on the patron tier, the $6 tier, well, the $3 tier, you can watch and play along.
Yeah.
You get to actually see these paint jobs. Because we could describe them the best we can, but I mean, you got to see them to understand like
we could
what
describe
they
them.
are.
This beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, this on video. I think I have a great background.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking real good.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the hat looks great. The Spider-Man shirt.
It's popping.
It's worth the $3.
I got lighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth the $3, baby.
And now we're about to switch over. You still have time to switch over to the $6 tier.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Halloween movies. And here's what we're also going to do. I'm going to list 3. Travis is going to list 3. Blake, if he's here, he'll list 3. And what we'll do next time on Life After the Cover Save, Life After the Cover Save, what we'll do is in the Patreon, we'll do a poll of the 9 movies, hopefully, or if there's some that are the same. However many movies we list, we're going to do a poll, and we'll watch the movie that wins the poll, and then we'll talk about it in depth on Life After the following episode. So, you guys ready to start listening?
Heck yeah, dude. Let's do it.
Who wants to list first?
Can we go?
You can just do one. Just do one.
I did 3.
Well, no.
Yes,
we're going to get to all 3, but we're just going to go one at a time.
One at a time.
Yeah. I did 3, and we can go one at a time. I like that. Now, I was never a scary movie guy.
Right.
Never been a horror guy. When I was a little kid, I couldn't walk down the Halloween aisle at Thrifty's. Remember Thrifty's?
What's that?
Life after the cover save, our passion remains. Our passion remains. So gather